Uh,
Okay.
didn't want to.
So is my screen being shared?
I see fourth
Yes.
2.0 at hardware, Don Golding on my screen.
Yeah, let me hit put down a timestamp. And actually this is one of the things is I've decided here this will be uploaded, but I copied over the notes the talks for today, and I've made some comments on some of them. Um, so here we are. Um, and if well, let me get to, yeah, okay. Pulled up there, okay, I've switched to full size. And yeah, programming is just part of life. This is one of the things that I've seen uh, the fact that I can be taking notes, but just go and write down a line that the machine can understand. And I'll get to F1. I'll be hitting F6 a lot to evaluate, and actually it's actually F8. Um, to if I've got a line with a URL on it, it'll open it up. So um, but let me open up CoSy, and let me get rid of that. And let me expand this because I'll refer to, I think that's probably big enough. But this is CoSy's front page. And I couple of thoughts about that since large language models, nice acronym now. I mean, CoSy is a large language. And actually, I didn't think about doing this, but I might as well because um, I think that's my word. Yeah. Okay. This is all the words in CoSy, and the hash is how many is the count. So I've got over 2,300 words, and this is all the way from the x86 level definitions and translations into fourth up through everything. But this is a CoSy object. CoSy is a language of lists of lists. And the first three items in it are first of all, the first cell that you grab, just it gives you the type, and that goes as a pointer to whatever vocabulary handles that object, that list, because everything is a list, and count it tells it how many. So it and and reference count, those are the two that sort of are visible from the outside. And from type and count, you can calculate how large an address space you need to go and allocate. So you're allocating and freeing address spaces. And iota n is the index into that. And reference count, every time you reference an object, like you have it as a parameter in a word, you up the reference count. And then when you exit the word, you drop the reference count back down. And if it ends up being 0, then you free that space. So that's the essential structure of lists in CoSy. And actually, a dictionary, which is being described as a structure, whatever, is a list of 2 lists. A first one of names and a second one of values. And type 0 is a list of lists, which is the same as a list of pointers, so it's single cells or whatever. So yeah, this gets to what I want, and this is something that whoops, I want to, well, I got it's you know the list of all the people here. Oh, there, I good, I can move it. Yeah, I'm definitely at this sort of stage.
Can I throw a monkey wrench in there just for the hell of it?
Yes.
Could you have children and parents? So if you think of a spreadsheet or an array or an outline, so then you could have children and parents. So you could have an array of children or whatever, just for the hell of it.
Yeah, actually, one of the real generalizations, and this definitely was I mean, because APL evolved from matrix algebra and rectangular array, rectangular arrays, shoeboxes. It built that into the headers of objects. So the number of dimensions was the first item in the header, and then that many dimensions. And actually, it's kind of an interesting historical thing. John Bacchus gave a talk at the Turing, he got the Turing Award in like 74 or something like that, 75. And a lot of his talk, his Turing Award talk, was about Ken Iverson having broken the von Neumann bottleneck, which essentially is this matter of having a language that incorporates the count in the header. You know, it knows how many do I have to do this for. So it sort of is a generalization of counted strings. I think is one of the best ways, to get it across to,
So you can build a tree. You can build a tree or an array out of that.
I almost think of them as bushes lots of times. As a matter of fact, actually, one of the really things that I'm really feel I got right is that indexing is modulo, okay, which eliminates the notion from APL of scalar extension and so forth. It's just, and then again, you can let me go ahead. One of the things I wanted to say is I really am at this stage. I've got it. This is at the top of, when you hit the top of my homepage, you get here. And it's got a bunch of things mainly about it. Here's the quote from Chuck Moore, which I think is such an understatement. I have gone to some lengths to simplify. Yeah, right. I mean, no, great obsession. And actually, there's an interesting one by Churchill. But what I wanted to do is come down here to the videos, because the thing that let me reduce the size a little bit. I following some discussions on LinkedIn, mainly at the array level. I ended up making a silent hello world, 2.5 minutes silent hello world. I have a more verbose one. This is versus Python. And one of the things is, the next time you're thinking of doing something in CoSy, contact me and try it in CoSy instead. Because then you'll be doing it actually in Forth. You're executing directly in Forth. But in any case, I made quite a while ago this comparison of Hello World in Python versus CoSy. But now and then I made a somewhat shorter one, but now I've got it down to 2.5 minutes. And let me go and I may want to restart it. Yeah, it's pretty. Oh, here's the little counter here. Wait, let me restart it. Okay, I actually it was interesting to hear everybody be silent through that. I hope that didn't. Well, it's 2.5 minutes, but I'm happy to stop talking now. Although if not, I can go and oh, Techie Dome. I should go and so I've created Techie Dome, where there are a lot of conversations that are on LinkedIn or various places. And actually, this was one on LinkedIn. Let me actually just spread this out.
Why don't you 10 more minutes, Bob, and then we'll stop the recorder.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's more than I'll get. But going through a couple of these links anyway. Techie Dome, one of the things is it's a discuss widget. But one, it's got better formatting than a bunch of these others. And the other thing is, boy, I look forward to feedback on it. But this covered, well, there are a number of different issues that get covered in all of this. Oh, I did the silence. Oh, I got Techie Dome mentioned. And Oh yeah, one of the things is definitely really getting. I mean, it's really getting into going and making this be. I mean, one of the things is you see this is person oriented. This isn't about being a professional programmer and going and making a system for somebody else. This is your interface with your machine and your machines, your you know, whether they fit in your pocket or whatever. So yeah, the next time you know, you need to get a you know, a whole language ecosystem, and this is open all the way through the Forth. I mean, it's Forth. It executes in Forth. And this is the thing, is Forth is the path to the hardware. It occurred to me, one of the old ideas, you've got, this is sort of one of the long-term quests, is from the conceptual arrays, the mathematics and so forth, the arrays, to the physical silicon arrays. And so this is why, in a sense, Don and I are doing absolutely, you know, two ends of the spectrum. Don's working on the silicon arrays, and CoSy is the expression of the conceptual arrays. So, was there anything else? No, one of the things though is I think that actually, if you believe that you know, CoSy's gonna, you know, be something. Well, let's put it this way: this is a startup deal. Anyway, I'll click some other thing to get another. Anyway, that's fine with me. Oh, I don't want a new share. What is that? I meant to stop the share.
So one of the things I want to get away from is, can you bring up your code again?
Oh, I'm sorry.
That you just had on the screen? Yeah, well, okay, well, everybody saw it, but when you look at the code, I mean, do you instinctively know what it's doing? And okay, I'm not picking on you, Bob. I'm talking, you know.
No. Well, wait.
When,
As a matter of fact, I think that a lot of it, it's oh.
so let's just look at Hello World here, right?
Is
So
about
no, go back to, yeah, just leave it right there for a second. So we got S, you know, parentheses, hello world in paren.
yeah. Oh, okay.
I'm sorry. Yeah, quote. I mean quote, not paren. I paren 723. I guess I don't know. Is that a screen location? I take dot plus reverse. Is this English? Now, I'm going to say not only APL, but when we try to teach people Forth, you know, Forth is so powerful to make a natural language in, and we, you know, we took the time, and yes, if you're building an embedded system,
Don,
wait,
one of the things is I think I may have.
Bob, let me just finish for a second. If you're building an embedded system, hell yes, use Forth as is. You know, swap, drop, rote. You know, because you're using the most efficient system for an embedded system, especially if you want to use a really cheap processor. What I want to do is I want to get the rest of the world, you know, using Forth. Forth can be much higher level than any language out there. You know, it can be a natural language, you know. Computer, print on the screen, hello world, 10 times, stop. We can do that in Forth. Let's do that in Forth. Let's create Forth that is a high-level language.
This is a language built in Forth. You talk about, I mean, and this is an idea that goes back as soon as I learned fourth. I thought, okay, you've got this language which is uniquely open to the machine, to the whatever architecture, but is a dictionary capable of extending itself? It's a dictionary. It is all about sort of making and factoring actually that dictionary making vocabulary, that compiling vocabulary. But the thing is, my immediate, because I had learned APL in the mid 70s, because I could express the mathematics of visual psychophysics, which is essentially it's like, you know,
Great for that application. It's great. I'm talking about building something for non-programmers.
Don, one of the things that Ken Iverson did not like about what I was doing is because of the very ordinary nature of the people that were getting it. You go to, and this is worth going to, okay, go to CoSy and look at my Vita. Okay. Most particularly, you go and you look at the people who bought the original when the APL PC came out. I built it I embedded it in laptops of that period, the very first bundled laptops. But actually, but the thing is, you look at the ordinary people, if you will, except, you know, here, Gary Venner's one of the top actuaries in the country at the time, and still is. I mean, but Ken Iverson did not like how ordinary the people were that were using CoSy. And the woman who was my interface with the world, Linda Mottler, was an absolute, yeah, this is the best picture of her. But I mean, you know, we're talking about language for if you will, ordinary people that have the brain for it. But the thing is that each of these words, I mean, I can go through and there are tons of, I should have, I think I can, it's simplest just to go back to.
Yeah, Bob, you know, my comments aren't directed to you. This is a very powerful language. My comments are very broad. On fourth is so powerful to be a natural language. We ought to evolve it to that.
But if
look at reverse, then you have to define reverse. You have to have reverse in your language if you're going to talk at human level, and you're going to have, I mean, again, there are 23, there are over 2,300 words, but really about a half a dozen. Well, one of the things is, again, all words, it's just extremely important that you have any word that you actually earlier this is dictionary. This is, and I've got the cases totally screwed up, but words, actually that'll only come up with one word. Okay, but the definite VFetch. Okay, this is it. Say there are a lot of VFetch words, which are essentially your vocabulary to deal with your structures. And actually we have this is, I think, a generalization of this, but actually go and let me okay, was that understandable? Do you understand what I just did there? I got it work.
Bob, I think what would be helpful, I think a lot of folks in this group are not coming from a vantage point of having ever interacted with APL. And APL already has a big cognitive lift where you need to be able to think about high level operations and matrices and so on. And I think that
Right.
that
Sort of-
layered on top of then seeing the the particular ASCII characters that you've chosen to represent them, and then it's postfix notation. It's many layers of, yeah.
These
Love is a learning
languages-
curve. You have 2,300 words to learn.
But I guess one thing I would like to, what I found simple, for example, was small talk, because if you said, if you said boldface on a print or boldface on a screen, it was the same word and it meant the same thing and it did the same thing, and it had a more restricted.
Where I want to go. That's exactly where I want to go. Yep.
But I guess what I was suggesting is what might be helpful for understanding of some of the concepts you're trying to convey, Bob, is maybe an intro to APL for the group, because I think that's a stepping stone that's, I think, missing in a lot of folks. And I struggle because I have a very, very primitive, very basic understanding of APL, and then the impedance hop to CoSy is even higher from there.
Actually, again, there's an awful lot of material, and one of the things that's too bad is that the British APL Association records their meetings but doesn't ever put them online. And actually, I've been in conversation with a guy who's into K and Q, and there's been a bunch of, you go to Techie Dome, and there's that conversation from LinkedIn is on there, and some quite interesting conversations there. But I think at both ends of the spectrum, you have to have a head that's capable of having state, and in fourth, it's the stack state, the state of the stacks, and these array languages.
How about this? How about we give you 30 minutes, a tutorial. Start from the square one. How do you display something on a screen? Just do a 30-minute tutorial every month. Don't go over 30 minutes. You limit yourself to that. And just start from square one. I think what I've seen is I think APL's a very powerful language, but it looks like a chicken, jumped in an inkwell and ran across the screen.
But
it's computerese. It's computerese.
One of the things I've been in this is there've been two. I get too much of a little bit. I've been having Tuesday Zooms, okay, at 10 o'clock Mountain Time here.
Pardon me, I'm sorry to have muted everyone, but they didn't stop talking when I said stop talking. And it's about time to pull the plug on the recorder. So we'll turn you back on or allow you to unmute when you wish.